Thank you very much, Nana, and it's really good to see everybody here. My name is Sanjiv Nichani. I'm what's called a pediatric intensivist, which means I look after critically ill children. I work and live in Leicester. In fact, I set up the intensive care facility for children in Leicester about 23 years ago, and I often came to Warwick to pick up critically ill children from Warwick General Hospital and take them back to Leicester for specialist treatment. About 10 years after I set up the two units, the children's heart unit and the other intensive care unit for children, I needed a bit of a challenge. I'm a restless sort of guy, and I'm originally from Bombay, and I thought I must give something back. And because I was very familiar with the conditions back in India, Asia, Africa, I chose this particular challenge. Healing Little Hearts was founded in 2007, and the reason I did it was, if you look at statistics, that's the best way to illustrate the problem. Across the world, there are 200 to 300 million births every year. Now, the formation of a baby is a very complex process. Unfortunately, the vast majority of babies are completely normal. However, inevitably, the formation of the human body being so complex, there are times when things go all right. There are problems. The most common type of problem a baby is born with, or can be born with, is the defect in the heart. That might be surprising to you, but actually it is the most common type of problem. So, very quick anatomy lesson. The heart has 4 chambers, 2 receiving chambers, 2 pumping chambers. We have tubes that take blood to the heart, take blood from the heart, and the most common type of heart defect is literally a hole in between the chambers, a hole literally like that. That's what we mean by a heart defect. So this is a schematic representation of a map of the world, and this shows that across the world every year there are 1.4 million children born with a heart problem. But if you hone in and focus on where these kids are predominantly born, you will see the continent of Africa and Asia. So out of 1.4 million children born with heart problems every year, the vast majority are born between Africa and Asia. 90% to 95% of these children born with heart problems will never, ever get heart treatment. And whatever you might think about the NHS, trust me, as somebody who's worked with NHS for a long time, it's a magnificent organization. Yes, it has shortcomings, but overall, the care provides absolutely fantastic. So, over 1 million children born, as I said, in the poorest countries of the world with heart problems. 90% will never get treated. Let me give you some further local context. So, every year in the UK, there are 6,000 babies and children needing heart surgery. They all get heart surgery with a survival rate of 98 to 99%. The congenital heart service, so the heart service for children and babies and teenagers in the UK, is the best in the world. Now, look at the obscene difference. The conservative estimate, and that's the key word, the conservative estimate, is there are at least 1 million babies, children, teenagers dying across the world in the 21st century from untreated heart disease. Let me put that under a bit more spotlight. We all know about malaria, we obviously know about coronavirus, we know about Ebola, HIV, etc. Malaria causes, sadly it does, but it causes 400,000 deaths across the world every year. How many of you people knew that there are 1 million children dying from untreated heart disease every year? In the 21st century, at a time when we are talking about sending manned missions to Mars and probes to Pluto, the difference, the inequity of healthcare is just so obscene. And that's why I said appealing in the past. This is the waiting room of a hospital in India. That is the staff toilet of a hospital in India. So you can imagine what this represents about the facilities of hospitals. And this is just a prototype of hospitals in India, Asia, Africa, etc. These are the sorts of facilities. So if these are the basic facilities or lack of heart surgery, is almost rocket science. However, to deal with any problem, you've got to start somewhere. So what do we do? We're all familiar with the phrase, YOLO, you only live once. I certainly live by that paradigm and work hard and play hard. So I coined the phrase called TOLO, #TOLO. They only live once. These children born with congenital heart disease also only live out once like we do and deserve a chance of life. So what does Healing Little Hearts do? We send volunteer teams of doctors and nurses now across the world to perform free heart surgery on babies, children, and teenagers. All the volunteers take annual leave. I myself take 4 weeks annual leave every year and go and provide this free heart surgery for children. So how much does it cost? It costs us £6,000 to send a team to operate on average between 12 and 15 children. So if you do your maths, it costs us £500 to save a child's life. A bit further context, I work, as I said, in the Children's Heart Unit in Leicester. Every week over here, we operate on between 6 and 8 children. So actually, when we are traveling, we are doubly efficient, making the most of our time and the money that has been donated to us. So what are the activities today? Last year was the busiest year for us, 24 international cardiac missions. We operated on 352 children. So every year, the activities we ramped up considerably. In 2018, it was 23 camps, and obviously we have to stop operating now because we can't travel, but so far this year we've done 80 operations. Now, last year we operated on 352 children, whilst traveling between 14 countries. In the Children's Heart Unit in Leicester, we operate on 400 children. So we're not far off providing the service abroad in the poorest countries of the world that we do here. So what about our overall activity? So far, 2009 operations, over 152 international heart missions, working with 41 hospitals in 14 countries and 3 continents. This is very important. It's all very well me going somewhere, doing some operating and leaving and feeling good about myself, as my colleagues do. What we do is we teach, we train, we empower, we partner. We leave a legacy, we leave capacity. So now we have empowered 2 hospitals who are now operating themselves independently of us. So not only have we operated on 2009 children, but these 2 hospitals have also operated about 800 children themselves. And that is the model to deal with this astronomical problem of 1 million children dying from untreated heart disease each and every year. And this is how it works. This gentleman here flew in from Malaga, Spain. That lady there came from Greyhound Street, London, and that nurse there came from Leicester. And they've flown into Abuja, Nigeria, and they've worked together to teach the local team how to look after these children before and after heart surgery. And we teach them all the facets of looking after these children, from diagnosis to treatment before surgery, treatment during surgery, and after surgery, and follow-up. And that's a big part of our model. We try to elevate the level of care to what should befit the 21st century. We started off slowly. I wanted to establish the model to make sure what I was doing was right, because after all, we are dealing with children's lives here. So it took me 3 or 4 years to establish the model, and then from about 2014, I started ramping up the activity. The very first center I went to was a hospital in Bombay, which I call myself a Bombay boy, although I left over 30 years ago. And between February 2017, where we had been to 6 countries and operated on 1,050 children, and now we've gone to 14 countries and operate on 2,000 children. You can see a big focus of ours is Africa. And these are where the volunteers come from. I call it United Nations effort. From all over the world. We have people coming from Australia, from the US, Canada, from 11 or 12 European countries, from all over the UK, from India, Pakistan, UAE, etc., all flying in to these centers that I showed you. And why do we do it? This mom now knows that her son has been settled for life. He's been cured after simple heart surgery. This boy, Cosmos, I met him in Nairobi, Kenya. He couldn't walk, he couldn't go to school. His life has now been transformed. This boy, a precious child, of course all children are precious, but his parents have been trying to have a baby for many, many years, had numerous problems, and he was born with a heart defect. They were absolutely devastated. And now that's what it looks like. So this is where we currently are. As I said, we've undertaken 152 international camps, worked with 40 partner hospitals around the world, 14 countries, and over 2,000 operations. And so the big focus is Africa, with Palestine as well, with Pakistan, Bangladesh. It's all there, all over the world. We focus on the poorest countries in the world. Important things, we deal with public money, so therefore we are registered with the UK Charity Commission. You can have a look at our accounts online. 3 trustees, 10 committee members who are incredibly committed, as are the volunteers. Everybody gives up their time for free. And this is the crucial bit. 97 pence out of every pound raised goes towards saving lives. This boy, you might be able to see a faint scar on the top of his chest here. This boy has travelled 1,294 kilometers from a state in India to where we operated upon him just to say thank you. So he's travelled 36 hours because he saved his life just to say thank you. He travelled 36 hours in the first place for life-saving heart surgery because there was no centre near him that could provide that. If a child in Warwick has a problem, they can go to Leicester, which is an hour away, they can go to Birmingham, which is 40 minutes away, or to London. And this child had to travel 36 hours for life-saving heart surgery. It's my work. This girl's name is Destiny. She was so thirsty after heart surgery. It reminds me a bit of my friends at the bar. She just refused to let this glass of water go. She's absolutely gorgeous and delightful. Kids are just so strong. This is 2 or 3 hours after heart surgery. She's parched, she's famished, she wants to drink something. It's incredible to watch. Sorry, you're going to have to screw your neck. We did give a vote, don't worry. This is proof that actually girls are much stronger than boys. Both of these children were operated on the same day. Gayatri is ready to go to school, and he's still a miserable git. So we crossed the milestone of 2,000 operations, and as I said, it costs us £500 to save a child's life. £500 to stop the devastation, the trauma, the anguish of a family losing a precious child. And finally, just a bit of philosophy which is important at my age. Life is not just measured by the moments that take your breath away, but equally by the number of breaths that you help other people take.